Thank you, Dave. That was an incredible introduction. And thank you, everyone, for being here. It's truly an honor and a privilege to celebrate our nation's service members on this Veterans Day. And for you all just to be here with us in person it is so much fun. This is my second time doing this event, and I have to be honest with you, it's one of my favorite events here at Dodger Stadium. So, along to what side is this? My left. I'm working on it these days. It's Chris Taylor. I know that Dave gave him an incredible introduction, but when you get to be alongside a Dodgers player, that means you get 2 introductions. You ready for this? Because I got a whole one right now. It's a good one, too. All right, today we have a Dodgers player who won the National League Championship Series Most Valuable Player in 2017, a member of the World Series Championship Dodgers in 2020, an All-Star in 2021, and this year for the Dodgers, the 2023 Roberto Clemente Award winner nominee, Kirsten. I thought that was a great introduction. Well, Chris, look, we've talked about it. Today is Veterans Day, and it's obviously a very special day for all of us. What does it mean to you, and what is the significance of this day, and for you to be here and a part of it?
I think I speak for most all Americans when I say we have it pretty good. And, I think it's important that we take today to recognize the sacrifices that all of the veterans and their families have made so we can have the quality of life that we live every day and for our freedom.
Yeah, you mentioned sacrifices right there. And, obviously those who commit to protecting us day in and day out, that is a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of time away from our families. And on the baseball side, there is a sacrifice. While it's a little bit different, there's a sacrifice of 162 games in which you are away from your families. Can you talk about just how you kind of navigate through those challenges and kind of making those sacrifices to play a game that you love?
I would never compare the sacrifices we make in baseball to those of the veterans, but I think you do get a little bit of the similarities with the time away from family and the mental grind and preparation. But like I said, I would never step up here and say it's anywhere close to what they had to go through. I can't even imagine how difficult it was for them, and how hard it was for them and all of their family. I think as baseball players, we have a tough time, being away from our family for not even close to the amount of time they have to go. So, I commend them for that.
Absolutely. I would agree with everything you just said there. Everyone talks about baseball. It's obviously a very challenging sport. Even professional athletes would say that baseball is probably the hardest sport to play. What is the biggest challenge to you in this game?
There's so many challenges, but probably like the mental side of just dealing with the constant failure. Baseball is a game of failure, and you go through these stretches where it seems like you're never going to have success again, and it doesn't matter how good you are. Obviously, Freddie, he doesn't fail nearly as often as some of us, but everybody goes through that, and it's trying to get over that hump. And every time you think you're there, every day you feel like you have a breakthrough and you don't quite get over the hump, and then it's starting from zero again. It's doing that over and over and over again throughout the course of the season. That can really wear on you, and I would say that's the most difficult part.
Kirsten earlier shared that one of our partners today is the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health. So when you just speaking on those challenges that you mentioned and understanding that this really is such a mental game, how have you learned to navigate that and find different ways to kind of help you through kind of the ups and downs of this game?
I think you really do have to take it one day at a time. You can't look too far forward or too far back. You try to be present in the moment, and you have to find the little wins. There, like I said, there's times where there's not a whole lot going well for you, and you have to. It might be something very small. You might have made got a guy over to help us win a game, or you might have made a good base running play, or you just have to try to find those little wins and build on that and really take the pressure off yourself and focus on the team. And I think that can help with the individual struggle.
Have you had to learn to sometimes kind of leave the game on the field? You are about to be a new dad, everyone. Have you found that, sometimes you have to just leave it on the field, go home, be with your wife and your family, and allow that to kind of be your way to reset?
Yes, absolutely. I tell my wife all the time, I don't know how I did it without her, because before I met her, I really struggled letting it go. I would go home and I would think about baseball, and it was just 24/7 nonstop. And, I'd be dreaming about my swing or what went on in the game. And it's such a grind. And, my wife and my dogs, and just going home to my family and having that escape. I live in Manhattan Beach, and, that helps too, being at the beach every day. I think just having that escape is so important, because, you have to be able to separate it. You can't go through that constantly throughout the course of an entire season, and it'll kill you. So, yeah, absolutely, being able to have that time with my family, helps the mental psyche throughout the season.
So now we are here in Dodger Stadium, the iconic Dodger Stadium, and it's Veterans Day, and we have so many incredible veterans who are here with us. And I think they want to know maybe a little insight to you and being here. And do you have a favorite memory playing in this stadium, or even just as a Dodger player that you can share with them?
The favorite memory is definitely winning the World Series. I think that's every kid's dream. Finally, and especially because we had been there twice and not been able to get over that hump, 2017, 2018. We got there in 2020, which is such a weird season, no fans. But, finally getting over that hump and winning was the best feeling in the world. It was like a huge weight was off of all of our backs. And we didn't even get to celebrate, which was weird, but we didn't even care. I think, it was just like the biggest weight off of our shoulders, and that's something we'll be able to hold on to for the rest of our lives.
Now that you've had a taste of what that moment is like, does it make you want more? Like, do you want to bring another World Series championship back to Los Angeles?
Yeah, for sure. And I think the fact that we didn't, like I said, we didn't get the parade. We didn't get to pop champagne after the game. We had to go take COVID tests after and quarantine for 2 weeks before we could fly home. It's just like the strangest thing. Like I said, at the end of the day, we're world champs, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, I think we want the parade.
Y'all want the parade too? Yeah, I know we do. Oh, Chris, thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Chris, thank you for being with us today on this Veterans Day, sharing your time with so many incredible individuals. So thank you for all of you, to your service, what you've done to protect our lives day in and day out. And Chris, an honor and a privilege to sit alongside you pretty much every day. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thank you to all the veterans that are here.
Dave is. Did we lose him? Oh, there he is over there. Come on over, Dave. All right. You guys ready for some batting practice?
Questions?
I'm gonna be honest, I did try to play once and whew, it was hard. So I wish you all the best out there. Oh yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's not every day you get access to an actual Major League Baseball player, especially like a legit, and I'm going to sound nerdy saying this, but a legit ball player. I mean, this guy's a ball player. He just loves the game, and you can tell when he comes to the plate, he's focused. So if you guys have any questions that you've always wanted to know about being a ball player, or Chris specifically, there we go, all the way back here.
Raise your hands. We'll get a microphone to you.
All right. How's it going, buddy? Oh, I get it. All right. How's it going, man?
Hello. Hi, Chris. Other than Dodger Stadium, what's your favorite stadium to play in?
So I will say Dodger Stadium is my favorite first, but there's a lot of good ones. You know, I think I really like going to San Diego and playing there. One, we get... Hey, hold on.
Listen to the reasoning.
One, we get so many Dodger fans there, and I think it's just a good... you know, it's a great atmosphere. You know, you can feel the energy in the stadium. They're really trying to create that rivalry over there. And, you know, I think it's fun, you know, being able to drive down there. We don't have to fly too far. And, yeah, it feels extra good to beat the Padres, too.
There's also good food at that stadium. For the fan side, you know, just a little bit.
Got a question down here in the front.
Who's going to be the opening day starting pitcher for the Dodgers?
That's above my pay grade. I don't know.
Dude, it's November. Let's enjoy
Get through
being
free
November
agency.
10th.
We have so much to do.
She brought her own microphone. That's great.
See, there's also one in front of you.
If you were to join a branch, which one would you join?
Fire in there today.
I don't even...
This is going to go very badly.
Yeah.
There's no there's no winning answer here.
I heard Coast Guard, and that's a good answer.
You like the ocean too?
Yeah, I love the water. I like to surf, so that...
That's what the Coast Guard does all day, huh? Just surfing. That's the gig. Is that right? I saw you raise your hand. Is that what the Coast Guard does?
I was Army Infantry, I don't know.
Oh, you raised your hand for Coast Guard. That's why you celebrate. So, you have a question here? Let me get you out of this one quickly.
My question is, I know it's not true, you know, you had nothing to do with it, but how does the Dodgers let Corey Seager and Trey Turner get away?
I don't know. You guys are asking questions. I'm not supposed to answer these. I had no part in it.
We're losing concept of what's happening here today. This isn't the front office. This is Veterans Day at Dodger Stadium. Let's take advantage. You got a question? Save us here. Do I need to vet your question first?
When the season ends, how much time do you take off before you start getting yourself back in shape for the next season?
That's a great question. And it's different for every player, and it's also different based on the season. For me, you know, I try to take... It really depends. I try to take the time where I want to train again. So sometimes that could be a week, and sometimes it can be a month. But, you know, usually for me, it's about a week to 2 weeks, and then I start to get that fire, get hungry again. And, you know, that first week or whatever, I just take the time with the family. If I want to travel, I travel. You know, relax, watch football, I'll go surfing. And then, you know, that's fun for a little while, but then you start to get that edge again. And I think for me, it first starts in the gym, you know, just to get my body back into shape, regain my strength, that you do lose some strength over the course of the season. So trying to regain that strength. And then I would say usually around middle of November, December is when I start doing baseball activity again, like throwing, defense, hitting, all of that.
To come ask this young man standing up here. How's it going, pal? What's your name?
Abraham,
All right, Abraham, you got Chris Taylor here. Go ahead.
do you like any other sports than baseball?
Yeah, I do. Mostly watching at this point. I'm a big UVA fan of all sports. I went to University of Virginia, so I love UVA basketball. UVA football is tough to watch right now, but I still watch. We had a tough loss last night. And then I play fantasy football, so I watch the NFL, root for my fantasy guys. As far as playing, as a kid, I played soccer and I wrestled growing up along with baseball. But baseball is always my true passion. But I do think it is important to play multiple sports as a kid and try to experience as many things as you can to really find what you love to do.
Got another question over here.
What MLB team did you like growing up?
Where are we? Oh, okay, sorry. My favorite MLB team was the Baltimore Orioles when I was your age. I grew up in Virginia Beach. At the time, the Orioles were the closest team. The Nationals weren't there yet. So I liked watching the Orioles every day. They were on our local broadcast, and I liked Cal Ripken Jr. And I could watch him every day because he was literally in the lineup every single day. So.
Iron Man.
So our son goes to university, and we were recently, basically he's not getting a tryout for the baseball team. So we reached out to a local junior college coach, and he said that he would take him, but he recommends sitting out for a year. What do you think the benefits of junior college baseball as far as development? Do you think he should basically go, or should we, just let him sit out the year, work on his body, work on his, the craft, and play in a adult league?
That's a tough question. I mean, that could be so different for everyone. I do think junior college is very valuable. I think it can be a misconception that you have to go play Division I baseball to these big schools out of high school to have success or get the best competition. I think there's really good competition in junior college, and I would say honestly, to answer your question, I think it is important to play. I think it's better to go to maybe a smaller school where you're going to be given more opportunity and play every day and get that experience on the field, as opposed to going to a big school and not playing or sitting out a year. I would lean towards going to the JUCO and playing. But that's just a personal preference, like I said.
All right, because we want to move on, so I'm going to take this last question over here on the side. And this is a question for your son here, but too shy to get Mike, I get it.
Hey, Chris, thanks for your time. My son is 6.5, almost 7. He just started playing travel ball. What would be your advice to a young ball player to stick it out?
I think, it's really important to have fun with whatever you're doing, especially at that age. If you're not enjoying it, it makes it that much tougher to work hard and practice and get better. If you're fortunate to love every moment of it and practice every day, that's great. If you need breaks and you need time to play other sports and do other things, that's perfectly okay at this age. Like I said, I played 3 different sports when I was young, and I eventually figured out that baseball was what I wanted to pursue. And then once I got to high school, I put all my focus into baseball. But just no matter what you're doing, I think it's really important at a young age to really enjoy it and enjoy being with your friends and competing and just having fun. And I think when you're doing that, that's the best way to improve and get better.
Well, we can do these all day, but I think we want to get out there and hit some balls. So I want to thank you, Chris, for being available, for being accessible, for being here, and for being a part of this event. So thank you. Chris Taylor, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
And Kirsten Watson, of course, thank you once again for leading the way. Put your hands together, if you would, again for Kirsten as well.